Hello, grade 11 students. Right now, we are going to study about the continuation of organic nitrogen compounds. In the organic nitrogen compounds, we had learned from 27.1 until 27.3. Now, this is the second part of 27.3 reactions as nucleophiles. Another similarity between amines and ammonia is their nucleophilicity. The lone pair in the nitrogen atom of amines makes them good nucleophiles. They react with alkyl and acyl halides. We are going to see in the next part of this textbook, but right now we are going to see the reactions as nucleophiles. We know the structure here, structure of ethyl amines and also the methanol chlorides react will form an amide. This is an amide because it has C double bond O and NH. So this is the characteristic of an amide plus HCl. And then next, when phenylamine react with halogenoalkanes, it will form a salt. And HBr, both of them will produce acid. So this is only the description of the reactions as nucleophiles. Next, in the presence of an excess of bromoalkanes, amines can successfully alkylated first to secondary and then to tertiary amines. They are strongly nucleophile and are readily alkylated to quaternary ammonium salts. So this one, in the presence of excess halogenoalkanes, this nitrogen molecules can undergo many reactions until it forms quaternary salt. What does it mean by quaternary? It means that all the four hands of nitrogen will be occupied by the alkyl groups. And then as the result, quaternary salt are water-soluble solids and no basic character. Why is it no basic character? Because there is no more lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen atom. We know that the basicity of a molecule depends on the lone pair on nitrogen atom in amines, but in quaternary there is no more lone pair, so there is no basic property. Why is it water soluble? Because water soluble depends on the electronegative element. Okay, next. What is the use of the quaternary ammonium salt? It is used in phosphatidylcholine is a key phospholipid component of cell membranes. Acetylcholine is an important neurotransmitter, allowing a nerve impulse to pass from the end of the nerve to start of the next one. So this one is the active chemical in our neurotransmitter that can sending message in our body. Next, let's continue. Next, this one, Reactions with nitrous acid or nitric 3 acid. Nitrous acid is unstable. The formula is HNO2. It is different from nitric acid. Nitric acid is HNO3. HNO2 is unstable and has to be made as required by reacting together sodium nitrate and hydrochloric acid. So, sodium nitrate is a salt. Salt reacts with acid to produce another salt, and another acid. Aromatic and aliphatic amines differ markedly in their reactions with nitrous acid. So, in order to differentiate between the aliphatic and aromatic amines, we have to use nitrous acid. But nitrous acid, we cannot put it as a liquid, as a pure, but we have to make it. In the process, the nitrous acid will be formed. Like in this one, the NaNO2 reacts with HCl will form sodium chloride and nitrous acid. So let's see the aliphatic. R and H2. R stands for the alkyl groups. Alkyl groups attached to the amines, aliphatic, react with nitrous acid, and then in the presence of sodium nitrate and hydrochloric acid, in condition 30 degrees Celsius in water, it will form an alcohol, nitrogen gas, and water. And then aryl amines, however, form fairly stable diazonium salt at low temperatures. Last time we already studied a little bit introduction of diazonium salt when we studied about chapter benzene. So under these conditions, for aryl amines that form diazonium salt, under these conditions nitrogen is not evolved, but a solution of diazonium salt is formed. So the difference between aliphatic amine and aromatic amines when react with nitrous acid, it is in the formation of bubbles of nitrogen gas. Next, aryl diazonium salt are unstable and explosive when dry, but can be kept for several days in solution in a refrigerator. Now let's see the reactions of diazonium salt. Adding a solution of diazonium salt to hot water causes decomposition and produces phenol. So like this one, diazonium salt react with water, add to water at high temperature more than 60 degrees Celsius, phenol will be formed and bubbles of nitrogen gas. This is the analogous products to the alcohol produced when aliphatic primary amines react with nitrous acid. Next, the second. The most important reactions of diazonium salt are their use in the formation of azo dyes. When solution of diazonium salt is added to an alkaline solution of a phenol, an electrophilic substitution reaction occurs. known as coupling reactions. So what is the catalyst in here? The catalyst in here is sodium hydroxide. The other reagent, the other reactant in here is a phenol. So let's see the reaction here. When phenol reacts with aqueous alkali, it will become a phenoxide ion. When the phenoxide ion reacts with diazonium salt, it will become an azo compound. What is an azo compound? Azo compound is a coloring, dyeing to make color. Now let's continue to 27.4, preparing amines. The two main methods of preparing alkyl amines both start with halogenoalkanes. So the starting point of making amines is halogenoalkanes. So if we have an alkene, in order we want to make into amines, we have to make the alkanes undergo free radical substitution to form halogenoalkanes. If it is an alkene, then the alkene must undergo electrophilic addition to form halogenoalkanes, and then the halogenoalkanes will undergo reactions, will undergo nucleophilic substitution to form an amines. Similarly, alcohol. So alcohol, we have to make reaction in order to form amines. Okay, let's see. The first point, by nucleophilic substitution with ammonia. Halogenoalkanes react with ammonia, which is heat in ethanol under pressure. Heat in ethanol is the catalyst. Under pressure is the condition. The other reactant is ammonia. So halogenoalkane reacts with ammonia will form an amine and salt. As long as an excess of ammonia is used, further substitutions giving secondary and tertiary amines can be avoided. Next. Now let's see the azo dyes a little bit. Let's revisit azo dyes. The azo group, the characteristic is the double, there is a benzene ring attached to N with double bond N. It is called as a chromophore. Compounds containing this group are highly colored. Their colors range from yellow and orange to red, blue and green, depending on what other groups are attached to the benzene rings. The common acid-base indicator, methyl orange, is an azo compound made by the coupling reactions. Now we know that the indicator phenolphthalein that can change color also containing methyl orange, containing azo. This one, indicator methyl orange, is an azo compound. We have it in our school laboratory, methyl orange. So when we are using methyl orange will turn into red when it is react with acid. When it is react with base, it will change into orange. Many dye molecules used for dyeing clothes do not easily stick to the fibers of the materials by themselves. This is especially the case if their main methods of intermolecular bonding, for example van der Waals hydrogen bonding and ionic forces, does not match that of the molecules that make up the material. Mordants are often used to help the dye molecules stick. What is mordant? Mordant is a polyvalent metal ion such as aluminum or iron, which can form coordination complex with both the dye molecules and the hydroxide, the CO, and the NH group on the molecules that make up the fibers of the materials. So this is coloring. In order color to stick to the fiber, it requires a connector. The connector is called mordant. A great number of dyes for clothes coloring, color printing, and food coloring are azo dyes. Okay, this is the example, and this is the sunset yellow is the coloring, the food coloring, and carmosine also food coloring, which is red in color. Okay, next let's continue about the nucleophilic substitution. Nucleophilic substitution with sodium cyanide of the halogenoalkane followed by reduction using either lithium tetrahydroaluminate or hydrogen over a nickel catalyst. Notice that this one will produce an amine. Let's see the reaction. Halogenoalkanes react with sodium cyanide. Sodium cyanide is the reactant. Heat in ethanol. Ethanol is the catalyst. Heat is the condition. And then it will produce a cyanide. This one, cyanide, undergo reduction reaction with hydrogen in the presence of nickel catalyst will form an amine. What is the use of this reaction? This use, as we can see here, in the halogenoalkane there are 2 carbon atoms. In the amines there are 3 carbon atoms. So we have to use this nucleophilic substitution with sodium cyanide if we want to add 1 more carbon atom. Example, in ethane. Ethane, we know there are 2 carbon atoms, and then the product we want it to be propylamine. Propyl containing 3 carbon atom. So how to add 1 more carbon atom in ethane? We have to react the alkanes to form halogenoalkanes, and then halogenoalkane react with sodium cyanide in the presence of ethanol in high temperature heat, and then after forming cyanide we have to undergo reduction. Amines are also produced when amides are reduced by lithium. Tetrahydroaluminate catalytic hydrogenation only succeeds under conditions of high pressure and temperature. This allows amines to be synthesized from carboxylic acid. Okay, so the second amine, first amines can be produced from halogenoalkanes. The second, amines can be produced when amides reduced by lithium tetrahydroaluminate hydroaluminate, which is under high pressure and temperature. This allows amines to be synthesized from carboxylic acid. So carboxylic acid has to be converted into acyl chloride, and then acyl chloride must form into amides, and then amides undergo reduction reaction in dry ether will form an amine. So let me revise again before we continue. So this one, first halogenoalkane can be into amines. Second, carboxylic acid can be amines. So the way carboxylic acid must be converted into acyl chloride, and then acyl chloride converted into amides. Amides react into amines. Aryl amines are most commonly prepared by reduction of aromatic nitro compounds. So this benzene undergo reaction with concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid at temperature less than 55 degrees Celsius. It will form nitrobenzene. Then nitrobenzene reacts with thin and concentrated HCl. In the presence of heat, it will produce phenylamine. To produce the free amine, excess sodium hydroxide must be added after the reduction is completed. Okay, so right now, today, we are going to learn about the reactions of amines, how to form amines. To form amines, there are two methods. First, using halogenoalkanes, or second, using amides. There is so from here you have to extend your mind map as you made in chemistry AS level. In chemistry AS level, you made already about the alkanes, alkenes, alcohol, carboxylic acid, and then ester. So alkanes undergo free radical substitution, and alkenes undergo electrophilic addition will form halogenoalkanes. So from the halogenoalkanes, you make a path to form amines. And then carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid can react to form acyl chloride, and then acyl chloride react to form amides, and then amides react will form amines. So this is the nucleophilic. So we know the nucleophilic, there is a nucleophilic substitution. All amines will undergo nucleophilic substitution. Okay, we are going to continue the next lesson on next week.